us an update on Brandon Alexander's status.
Yeah, he's able to practice. Yeah.
Encouraging, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But no decision yet on game.
Yeah, we don't. We'll see how it goes.
Nick Taylor in that mix too, I guess, for that spot.
Yeah, he's practicing. Yeah.
First playoff game for Tony Jones coming up.
Is it?
It's a long time coming, he said.
Oh.
What do you expect from him? What's he become for you?
Yeah, I expect the same hard-nosed football player that he's been showing us every single week, right? He's, has got a knack to make some big plays, and he's all over the field. He plays a physical brand of football, too. He's always shows up ready to go, which is, he's got a lot of energy, so it's good.
To take on that whole helping guys know where to be, Adam's role, to take that mental part on is, he said, it's not easy. I've seen him do it.
Yeah, he's certainly working on it, but we don't expect him to take on all of it.
Right.
Right? I mean, there's lots of veteran guys around him that are good communicators, so it's certainly one of those things he's trying to expand in terms of his role, but nobody expects him to step in there and do everything that Adam did in terms of that part, the communication, right, like that. But he is a good communicator, and he's working to get better at it every single day, but he's got a lot of other things that he's really good at too.
Your scouting report on him, would it lean more towards run stopper or coverage guy? Or
no, he can do it all. He can do whatever. Yeah. He's really quick. Like I said, we talked about him much earlier when he first started, and one of the things we talked about was how quick he was to fill gaps and his feet, how quick his feet were. So I'm sure you can ask him to do anything.
And is Adam able to be helping out, involved, or no right now?
Yeah, Adam, he's still a valued member of our team.
Yeah. Can you give us a role? Give us a sense of
well,
what
right
he can
now
do
he's pretty focused on trying to rehab a little bit too and get things going in that aspect. But he's there for his teammates, and
can you lean on him as a coach now?
Yeah, I mean he's such a good resource in that regard, right? His teammates will certainly lean on him.
Coach, I know that it's pretty common to see it in this league anyways, to see a team for a fourth time at this point, but what are the challenges that kind of come with that? You've seen a team 4 times now over.
I don't know that if you ask anybody, they would say there's challenges to it. I wouldn't. No. I would never focus on that, I guess. Certainly we know each other well. I mean, it just so happens that the team we're seeing for a fourth time is also probably the best rivalry going, right? So, I mean, that probably is, for the fans, it certainly adds more to it. But I think the coaches enjoy, I mean, this time of year you're pouring everything you got into the prep, right? And you've got a bit more time. We're fortunate enough to have a bit more time. But on a shorter week, some of the logistical stuff is already done, right? I mean, that's right. Some of the just stuff you have to get ready for a scouting report is already done.
I was just looking back at some of the 3 other meetings this year. It's 3 very different iterations of the game. Like you guys had the grinded out one. Granted, it was against Shea Patterson, but then you had then you guys have a shootout, and then you guys have kind of something in between where it's another close scoring one. Would history tell you that this 4th one is gonna kind of shake out a certain way?
I mean, it's this time of year, everybody knows each other fairly well, and it's going to be a hard-fought battle, and everybody understands the consequences of this game, right? So I think it's going to be a good, hard-fought contest.
I understand that the box score doesn't necessarily tell all, but it looks like in those past meetings that you guys had struggled to get Brady really going. Maybe he did a lot of his damage in the passing game instead. Just curious, why was that? If you can maybe talk about that, and then is there also maybe more of an emphasis going into it being playoff week to get him kind of going this week?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look back at all of it, sort of like put a clip together to sort of see what you're talking about. I don't believe that it was a struggle. I believe that you choose to execute game plans however you're going to execute it, whatever is required at on that given day, and that changes maybe from quarter to quarter and half to half, right? So, I mean, Brady is unbelievably talented, so obviously we want to get all our guys that have that level of talent involved in helping us win a football game.
Is this team better than when you guys last saw Saskatchewan? The Bombers I'm talking about.
Yeah, I would think so. I would believe that's every team's goal, no matter what sport you're in, is to improve as the season goes along. So I guess our last meeting was probably 6 to 8 weeks ago or something like that. So I would imagine we've improved, and I would bet you that Sask has improved too.
So I just had one last one. Is there anything that you can point to? I know that every game is so different, but is there what's been the difference in your mind in the 3 games this year that you guys have played? Like, is there one thing that you can point to, or 2 things even that you can point to in those?
Yeah, they're so hard to remember. I'm sorry, but it's, we put them in the rearview mirror, and now we're pulling them back out sort of bit by bit. We're not watching the full game and just putting the tape on and letting everybody watch a full game, right? You pull out certain things you want to focus on, and the reality is you really focus more on yourself, right? You're focusing on, because we've changed, you want to focus on the stuff that we do. What do we do better? What do we need to work on, more than possibly looking back and focusing on what they did and maybe what they're doing now. I mean, you do pay attention to that, but you really spend a lot more time working on what we do.
A lot of self-scout kind of thing.
Sure.
Mike, when you are playing a team for the 4th time, is deception as useful as possible as it was when you haven't played them 4 times?
Say that again?
I was just saying, you say you know them, so you know each other so well. Is deception as big a deal? Is it still possible
You
for
certainly don't want to sacrifice execution trying to get cute. I think you want to get out and execute really well at a high level, do the things you do, and do it at a high level. And that's what you've been working for all season long, is to be able to execute at a high level. And I don't know that any team's looking to misfire trying to get cute,
Well, no, but you run out of formations you threw passes out of. You pass out of formations you ran out of. You play action, like that kind of deception, as opposed to trickeration.
I don't know. Yeah, I think we just stick to what we know.
Could you give us an update on Kyrie Wilson? We know he's going to get back. Is he a possibility for the playoffs?
I don't know. He's running around out there. We'll see how he feels.